on some of these rice exporters like KRBL. Sources say that the Indian rice exporters have received notices from customs demanding payments of duty differentials on rice exported in the last 18 months. In fact, a lot of these exporters are grappling with tax demands from the customs. So let's find out what the implications of this are. Ashish Jain, who's the Chief Financial Officer at KRBL, joins us now to talk about that. Ashish, we're reading a lot of this in news reports, but can you confirm this for us? What does this mean for the industry? What exactly is this duty differential tax that you folks have to pay? And what are the financial implications of this?
Sure. So starting September 22, Government of India, with a view to settle the prices of rice in India, had taken various types of policy measures, including putting customs duty on export of specifically non-basmati rice. So while that is not a large area of operation for us, and we've not received any such notice, but we also understand from the press that various exporters have received those notices, which are really aimed at, settling the duty differential on the type of rice exported and reported.
You have not received any notice as of now, correct?
No notice to us as of now.
Okay, but for the industry, what would the financial implications of this be, for example, on margins? And for the rest of the industry, what are you hearing?
Yeah, so, like I mentioned, because of the policy measures, the export of non-basmati rice from India has been subdued. I think the government of India is looking at, controlling the supply of rice from outside India with a view to settle the price of non-basmati. So just from a direction point of view, these policy measures have had their impact. And I don't see any change in that direction right now. So we'll have to just wait and watch when non-basmati rice exports totally open up for the country.
All right. Hi, Ashish. Good morning and good to see you in. This is Nigel on this side. As you're indicating that y'all are more towards basmati, so this doesn't have a big impact to y'all because most of the measures are on the non-basmati side. How is demand for you, though? Your exports came down substantially in the past quarter. And also you have this, various geopolitical issues. You have the Red Sea conflict as well that's been impacting a lot of trade. What about for you? How is demand first on exports? And have these conflicts impacted business?
Sure. So I think first, overall basmati demand from India continues to be strong. I think the country is likely to see a record year in terms of basmati export. For us, we had some distribution challenges in one of our key markets, which affected our overall export performance. Now, we are actively engaged in the process of addressing those. We are, speaking with various parties in terms of appointing a distributor in Saudi Arabia and should be able to update you soon on that. So while the country continues to do well and sees a report here, for us as a whole, we should be back on track soon on our exports.
By when do you think? By the first half of the year, by the first quarter, you think things will settle down since you're already in touch with the client that you're talking about?
Sure. So, while I can't give a specific timeline, but this is a matter of top priority for us and our team is actively engaged in it.
Okay, well, we all here in the studio haven't had breakfast, so we are pretty hungry. So I'm going to ask you about biryani masalas because that's something that you recently introduced as well in your portfolio. Tell us a little bit about that. Are you looking for more diversification in your portfolio? If yes, what are the plans over the next couple of years?
Sure. So our specific objective for that particular launch was really to make consumers like you, who already have a preference for our rice, for biryani, to make it easier for them to get, the ultimate biryani taste. So the feedback that we received from the customer is that while they prefer our rice, but they found it difficult to get the, the restaurant taste of biryani. So we launched 3 variants of the basmati masala. Depending upon the preference, you can add it to the way you cook rice and get the same taste as you get outside home at home. So it's really a launch which is targeted at convenience and receiving good response on that.
So this won't really alter your revenue mix in any way, right? I mean, there's no major revenue potential from this diversification.
I think in comparison to rice, it's not a very large target. The objective behind this launch is just to make the consumer journey to get to good biryani easier at home.
Okay, all right. And since you're trying to innovate and make things more attractive for the customer, What about your ad spends as a percentage of your total revenues? What is it? And how do you see that panning out?
Yeah, so that continues to be in trend. Typically, in our domestic business, we look at ad spend of about 5% of revenue.
Okay.
This not only include ad, but also all other related sales and other expenses, and we continue to trend around that.
Got it. All right. There are also reports that suggest that Malaysia has requested for 500,000 tons of white rice from India. Do you all have exposure to Malaysia and any impact on you all or no impact whatsoever?
No impact of that.
Got that. Also, a quick counter question then. For this year, you will be in silent period. That's for FY24. But when we last spoke, I think you were talking about double-digit growth. So for FY25, going by the innovation that you're doing in the domestic market, and on the exports front as well, you expect things to get resolved. Double-digit revenue growth is what we should at least look forward to?
Yeah, I think you've captured it well, Nigel. I think that's our strategy for FY25. With the domestic business, we expect to continue to do well, double-digit growth, and we hope to get exports back on track. So together, that should help the company clock double-digit growth in FY25.
All right, we leave it at that. Thanks a lot for joining in and all the best for the double-digit growth that you're hoping to do in FY25.